This is a story you can only see on Fox 19 Now tonight.
Yep, 5 years after Joe Burrow was drafted, Jeremy Rao took a trip to his parents' house.
Yeah, where they shared that life-changing moment together.
He joins us now with that story.
All right, guys, so let's picture this. It is the night of the NFL draft, and Joe Burrow's family is all set for their big moment. The Wi-Fi is working, cameras are set up, lighting is good. Everything is ready for the most unique draft in NFL history. Their son is the #1 pick. The Bengals are on the clock, and the phone doesn't ring. It eventually did, and you know the rest. Tonight, a trip to the Plains, Ohio, with Joe Burrow's parents telling their story. It's been 5 years since Joe Burrow was drafted #1 overall.
The Cincinnati Bengals select Joe Burrow, quarterback, LSU.
A first ever look at that night from a different angle shows what many remember.
There were some critics of our draperies, yes, and we have changed things a little bit since then, but most people do in 5 years.
The furniture has changed, the decor is different. The memories for Joe Burrow's parents, they still live in this room.
Yeah, your heart beats a little fast right before the announcement because you know it's such a big moment in Joe's life for sure.
And the most unique draft in NFL history. The first pick welcoming America into his living room during a pandemic.
I mean, we were really nervous.
That meant no camera crews. A do-it-yourself draft video package was sent by the NFL.
I was exceptionally nervous about all of the technology failing because I was tasked with setting it up and making sure that it was working right.
With all the pressure on mom to get the video right, Joe felt the pressure of the moment. And yes, even Joe Cool was fighting to keep his cool.
He had some nerves for sure.
A closer look at the setup from draft night shows the floor of Joe Burrow's accomplishments. Right under the camera, countless awards. 5 years later, the walls inside this room point to Joe's climb to the ceiling of NFL stardom.
Very proud, but if you said yes, that's going to happen, that there's no way I would have predicted that.
Now a football player celebrated by millions, he was celebrated by hundreds in his hometown on the night he became a Cincinnati Bengal.
There were honestly hundreds of cars driving by and honking and yelling for Joe. It was probably a half hour. People were just coming by and honking their horns and yelling out their windows. Everybody was very proud.
Jimmy and Robin Burrow can't help but smile sitting here now. They have more than memories from their son's draft night. The shoes their son wore stay in a special case. The glasses they used to toast their son with the empty bottle of champagne on the shelf. And the emotions, well, they have never bottled those. Why is it still so emotional for you?
I don't know. I didn't know I was going to be that emotional, but just so proud of him and everything that he had gone through to get to where he was that night. It was, it really had all just, it was just magnified. The feelings were magnified for sure.
Yeah, mom still gets the feels. How could she not? It is funny that the Burrow family was nervous when the phone didn't ring right away. Mike Brown actually sent a letter to Joe Burrow 2 days ahead of the draft. Joe was always the pick. I need to mention this. When all those cars were honking for Joe, he was actually on a Zoom call with us, the local media. His parents were concerned we would hear all that noise, the honking on the Zoom. We did not, but Joe did miss that moment, so his parents had to wait for him, guys.
Aw, that is awesome.
And
I can't believe she was tasked with setting up all of that video. I mean, because that's the money shot.
It really is. And she said in the moment, you're inviting America into your living room. She said, well, other draft picks had to do this as well. We hear you, Robin, but you're the #1 pick, right? Yeah. You are praised as one of the best draft picks in recent history. Coming off the super team of LSU, you are the hero, the franchise-changing player Joe Burrow is for the Bengals. So there was a lot riding on them, and kind of in a small town, does the Wi-Fi work or not? It all worked out, but very real stress going into that night again during COVID.
And you got to see firsthand just how small this town was. And you mentioned, people say he's from Athens, but he's from a small city outside of Athens.
Yeah.
And he said it's very small.
Yes, he's from the Plains, only a few thousand people. So this is a very small town. You can imagine why the high school, a lot of the people in that town wanted to celebrate him that night. Hundreds of cars, as Robin said. The fire, like any small town, you win a state championship, what happens? You get to ride in the fire truck. The fire truck comes through. So it's one of those things where I think people should understand that Joe Burrow is such a superstar now, one of the biggest superstars in sports, but understand where he came from, where he still calls home. He's glad his parents still have that same home because those are his roots, even though he's at the Met Gala as the superstar as well.
When you drove into that town, did it say, "Welcome to the home of Joe Burrow"?
Yeah, there are still those things. In fact, I stopped at a local restaurant and they had this like shrine with like a candle with Joe Burrow's face on it, on his jersey. If you go into one of the local spots there, Gigi's, where his parents always go, Joe Burrow is praised all the time for what he's done. And even his parents said people will stop by time to time, knock on the door and just say, hey, Joe's awesome, we're rooting for him. So certainly a lot of fans there, yeah.
I bet a lot of people are surprised that they're still, living in the same house.
Yeah.
They haven't changed much. And I can tell you this, I met both of them.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that he's wearing the same shirt on that Joe had on that night. They're genuinely humble and nice people. She came on and she cooked for us during the 4 o'clock news.
Yeah.
I mean, do you remember this, Jeremy?
Yeah,
great people.
They haven't changed a bit. They said that during the interview. We hope people realize we're still the same people, haven't moved, haven't changed, humble as they come, great people for sure.
Awesome. Great story.
Thank you.
I like that.